Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the PVM focused Ultimate Ironman. In the last episode, we got the Ava's Assembler, which was a pretty nice upgrade to have, and that led us into grinding out Lizardmen Shamans until we got the Dragon Warhammer at just over 10,000 KC. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy. I would like to just knock out these quests and get myself set up to kind of do agility and herblore, and then we're good to go from there. And yeah, that's pretty much it right now. So I figured I'll just mention that, and then we'll give an update whenever we get to some of those things. And we got the hard casket, which we didn't get very many of these completed during our Dragon Warhammer grind, so maybe we'll get lucky. All right, just a quick update. We completed Eagle's Peak. So I think next we're going to do... Okay, next we're going to do Spirits of the Elid. Elid? I don't know, something like that. But yeah, we're going to do that next. And that's Spirits of the Elid done. That was actually a very, very fast quest. So that's awesome. We got that out of the way. And next up is Anakra's Lament. Okay, and that is Anakra's Lament done, which was also a fairly quick quest, but we did have to end up getting a ton of gear and items and stuff. But overall, not too bad. We actually were able to fit it all in basically our entire inventory setup, and that was nice. So we have one quest left, which is Contact. So a little bit of time has passed since the last clip. Basically, we went and got ourselves set up, do a bit of farming, and also start to focus on agility. And so with that, we needed to get to 70 agility specifically for the Desert Diary, which is what we were also working on right now and doing a lot of the diary steps. So just to recap, because I'm not quite sure if I got a lot of clips of this, but basically we completed the Desert Easy and Medium Diary, and the only last two steps we have for hard is to kill the Calphite Queen, which we'll be talking about in a second, but also to complete a lap of the Polnevich agility course. Yeah, we basically needed 70 agility, and I figured, you know, it's a good time because my agility has always been pretty low. I do need to get to 76 at some point. That would be pretty nice. So when we complete this lap, we will be getting to 70 agility. Yeah, so I'm going to do a farming run real quick, but I figured I'd talk about my next plans as well. So we do need to do the kill of the Calphite Queen, which I have never done before. I actually don't even think I've ever done it in Old School. I may have done it when I played a long time ago, but in Old School, as far as I know, since I've mostly played one defense accounts, I've never really had a reason to do KQ. This will be the first time I do it, but I am only going to be doing the one kill. So it's my first time actually using the Hespori death storage, because typically I've been using Volcanic Mine, but I figured I'd start to use Hespori because now I have the easy farming guild teleport. I can come to Nightmare Zone real fast. I can grab out like 10k and I can buy a house teleport and I'm right there. It looks like our current value with the GP is about 232 million GP. Actually, even better, I just totally forgot that we're gonna pull out the Slayer helmet and the Dragon Defender, and we have the Dragon Battle Axe, so we can just totally spec with that and restore our stats, and that's good enough. And then from there, I can also just buy a attack potion, which I believe she sells. So yeah, we'll just buy an attack potion, and that should be it. Okay, so first attempt did not go as good as I thought it would. We got through the first phase, but then the second phase just started going crazy, and I think I was just doing it wrong. Okay, so we ended up doing it. It was definitely closer than I thought it'd be. Oh, interesting. All right, and that is the Desert Hard Diary completed. That is one of, well, actually the second hard diary we have completed on the account. Probably one of the only ones we'll ever actually complete on the account. And this is because the reward is actually extremely good. So if we talk to Jar, we will be able to get our reward, which is a pretty decent experience lamp. I think we can say no for now. This actually, I think, teleports us to Narda, which is nice. We're actually going to need that in a second. But anyways, on screen, I'll probably show an image of it. But basically, the Hard Diary, what is most notable about it is that it allows you to create unfinished potions from your ingredients in Narda. Honestly, making unfinished potions, especially on an Ultimate Ironman, is extremely tedious. And so it's nice because this simplifies a lot of the herblore setup for doing the methods on an Ultimate Ironman. And when you have thousands and thousands of herbs, it is so nice to have this. But yeah, with that, we are actually going to go and, re-suicide and get our stuff out of our bag. And then we are going to head over and we're going to clean all of these herbs and build up our stacks real fast. And then we are going to go and actually make all of the unfinished potions, which is going to be really nice. So real quickly, before we get all set up for this, I am going to try and get back the Zamorak top and bottom because we are going to need those because the first potion we're going to make is the ranging potions. All right, so we finished making the ranging potions. We got 1650 doses basically. So yeah, that's pretty good. That'll be a decent amount that should last us a very long time. So I figured I would just mention how this works. So with the Hard Diary, again, you can come to Zahur out at Narda and you can do make unfinished potions. And what this will do is it will take your clean herbs and however many vials of water you have and just combine them. You don't get to choose how many. So as you can see, when you just do the option, it will literally do it instantly with no dialogue and just subtract the money. So for this method, I will be using the Myths Guild. So normally you can actually kind of do this method as well if you have 72 agility and you want to go to the Taverley dungeon. However, I have Dragon Slayer 2 completed, which is great. I can teleport straight to the Myths Guild and then go straight in the dungeon, and it's like right here. Now this is a little risky because I am death banked, so this is a little risky. Wearing the anti-Dragonfire shield though, I mean, makes this not very scary, and you can basically have permanent protect from melee on because every time I teleport to my house I can restore my prayer and repeat the process. So overall there isn't a whole lot of risk. I have auto retaliate on. In the odd event that I DC'd, I would most likely be able to kill the dragon before running out of prayer. Alright, this is a big level for us because this means we finally unlocked stamina potions, which is really good. I mean, staminas are used in a lot of different content. They're just good potions in general to have. They're also very easy to make, technically, for an Ultimate Ironman because you can basically just unnote your super energies and just kind of chill at the bank. And this will be the last of our Lantidimes used up. This is pretty solid. It was actually very fast and a good amount of experience. Okay, so I figured I would show real quick just what a full run looks like when I'm doing super energies. So this is kind of my setup. I have the Silver Sickle, I have my unfinished potions, and then just an even amount of inventory spaces left over so that, I don't have any stragglers. But anyways, I'll just commentate it real quick. So basically with my house setup, I'll teleport to the house, and if I need to, I will restore from the pool and then go straight to BKR Fairy Ring. And then really, it doesn't really matter where you go, but I just always go northeast and I go to these two logs and then I just cast Bloom. Now, I believe with the Hard Diary, I could be mistaken, it might even be the Medium Diary, but one of those diary rewards will give you additional Mortmire fungi every time you pick from the log. So it's essentially twice as fast, which is really nice, speeds this up a lot. And again, you'll use even less prayer since, you won't have to go through the whole inventory. And that is 78 herblore, which is actually a very, very important level for us. This is the level where we are able to make the highest level potions in raids except for the overload, which is not usually a problem because when you do solos, you'll get your own overload. And when you do group raids, you can just survive perfectly fine with the medium level overloads. All right, and this is the last of our super energies. and we got just over 4,000 doses, which is a lot of doses, 4,200 to be exact. So just as a little tip, I guess, not really a tip, but sort of a tip, I'm basically just taking off 2 pieces of gear or having 2 inventory spaces, basically so that I can equip them back and I'll be able to drop the super energies and then have 3 spaces, because you do need 3 open inventory spaces for some reason to decant to 1 doses. So I'll just equip right here, I'll drop the super energies, and this way it just keeps it simple, and then I can go back, pick it up, and repeat the process. Okay, so up next we are going to be doing the super restore potions, and for that we're going to need a lot of red spider eggs, and for that we're going to need to start farming, I think they're called spidines, in the Tower of Life. So we're going to get ready for that. We're going to basically just use the whip, so I'm going to go get that out of the stash in Drainer Village, and then we are also going to need to get the Arty Cloak. That was the last of the potions, I believe. So if we decant these down, that is almost 5,000 doses of super attack. We can drop this, and I think that's it. I mean, we pretty much have every other potion already in our bag. So we finished with all the herbs we had, and we ended up at almost 81 herblore, which is really good because that means we'll be able to make brews very soon, which is great experience. And on top of it being great experience, it's just great to have because brews are awesome for a lot of content. So we are getting closer and closer to actually being able to do Chambers of Xeric, but there is one last thing I want to get before I go, and that is a Berserker Ring, and I want to imbue it, obviously. Ring of Suffering can actually be stored in the death storage when you're doing Chambers, because Chambers is a safe death, and so that means that I can basically store anything I don't need in there while I do Chambers. That's perfect because that means I can go for a more optimal ring. This is one of the few times where I think it's worth it to have a Berserker Ring, but yeah, with that being said, we definitely want to get the Berserker Ring because we are going to be doing a good chunk of raids, and so I figure it's best just to do that. So I'm gonna quickly sell these rune arrows because I bought too many of them when, well, I guess not too many, but I had a lot left over when I finished the shaman's grind. And so yeah, we're gonna go to the ranging guild and do that real fast. And then we do have to re-suicide real quick because I did accidentally, I mean, I didn't really think about it, but I did put the antidote plus pluses inside of my bag, which will be very useful for doing long rec trips. Okay, so we're gonna go get the pet rock, but this is basically our setup. We went with a moderately tanky setup because the only damage we'll really be taking is from the spinops or spinlops or however they're pronounced. They roll against your ranged defense, so that's why we got the crystal shield, which costs 750k. Probably not worth it for this grind, unless we go really dry, in which case it's definitely worth it, but I don't know how long the crystal shield is going to last because every time we get hit by those, which is very often, it's going to degrade. But I do have a lot of GP to spare. I mean, I've got like 40 mil GP still, so it doesn't really matter, I think, and we'll probably end up getting more GP whenever we need it. But anyways, this is pretty much it, and then we're going to claim our pet rock real quick. And man, that stamina is perfect for this run. It basically lasts the entire thing, and our run energy is going to expire like right now. But wow, staminas are amazing, and it's kind of crazy playing the game for so long without them. Okay, and this is basically it. We're set up to just do Rex, and we're going to see how this goes. I mean, we'll see how many kills we get in basically one trip. So far, so good with a trip. We're currently at 16 KC. Nothing special yet, but it's going very smoothly. I mean, we barely used any food. We did get a swordfish drop. However, the worlds have been extremely laggy. I've already disconnected twice in this one run of 16 kills. I'm not sure if that's the world or something weird going on with my internet. I mean, for the most part, it's going pretty smoothly, and I think if we get some swordfish drops or other food drops, it seems pretty easy to sustain, and to be honest, we can definitely, you know, put away this prayer potion and probably put away this super restore as well. And that's 2 more inventory spots for food. In reality, if I disconnect completely while not killing Rex, I'm hoping that this means that Rex cannot wander and hit me. So as we can see, I'm already... Well, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Somehow I am tanking Rex. I have no idea how. Okay, well, yeah, I don't know if this is the world or not. We've been disconnecting like this every couple of minutes. It might be the world. In fact, it most likely is the world, so I'm gonna go and try a different world. Yeah, so I logged back in with like 20 HP. So I think that means I got pretty lucky because I didn't get hit for the first like 3 or 4 hits of Rex. So it's very likely I could die, which is really unfortunate. Okay, so we've had a couple wrinkles in our plan. Basically, we were going to do some raids, and I'm, as you can see, still kind of geared up for raids, but I think instead we're going to have to prepare a bit more. And by a bit more, I basically mean we're going to need to make brews. And in order to make brews, we're going to need to do several steps. I mean, first we're going to have to finish off this level, which is really close, so this is not really a problem. We can do this very, very quickly. In fact, the bigger issue is that we need to kill mole for nests. And in order to kill mole effectively, you need to have the hard diary done. And so I'm going to need to do a whole bunch of stuff to get the hard diary done. Now, it isn't a total waste because I'm going to need to make brews at some point. So it's not really a big issue, but it doesn't mean we're going to delay it a bit more. I was really thinking about it, and the last time I did raids, I didn't use brews, but also I had a lot more inventory space to work with because at the time, I was believe on my 1 defense Ironman account, and so I had a whole lot less switches, and then on top of that, I wasn't holding any noted potions, I wasn't holding a looting bag, I wasn't holding like any of this stuff, so I had a lot more room to put sharks and anglers fish, so I mean... Overall, that's the reason why it ended up working, but I think I'm going to just have a bad time without brews doing raids, especially like when I'm getting into it. I think maybe as I get more comfortable and I figure things out, then I'll probably be able to minimize damage a little bit more. And then from there, I can potentially switch to maybe just doing sharks or something in the future. But I think either way, you'd probably like infinitely sustain brews through doing raids just from the herb drops and things like that. Maybe not, but I mean, I know you do get a lot of herbs from doing raids, so we would see, I guess.